Hi friends, welcome back to my channel Tech Pulse. So today we will talk about the most important topic of as a data engineer. Okay, the topic will be, as you can see my screen, this will be the Spark session. So let's start. So before start the video and before start the explanation, I will I will talk about why we use Spark Session, what is Spark Session, and whenever you use Spark Session, what will be happen, and all kind of why, what if, and that kind of stuff. So let's start. So what is so we our first topic will be what is the Spark Session. So in a very simple way, in a very simple language, I will say Spark session is the entry point of Apache Spark. So whenever we want to use Spark, the first thing we need a Spark session. Without Spark session, you can't code and any kind of stuffs you can't write over Spark. So think of it like as um, Spark session is the front door of Spark. Just like you enter a building through the main gate, right? Every Spark application starts through Spark session. Sorry, actually I have cold. So let's start. Okay, I'm giving you a very real life analogy as a Spark developer. So imagine Spark is a very large company. So inside the company there are some type of department like data processing department, SQL department, data engineering department, machine learning department, and some kind of department, tech department. In tech department, very other developers working, right? So yeah. So but before my main point is, but before entering any department, you must first go through the reception desk. So the reception desk is the Spark session. Without reception desk, without tapping your iCard, you can't enter the office, right? So yeah, Spark session is your card, is your ID card or any kind of identity card. Okay, so without using or without tapping your card in your reception desk, you can't enter in your office. So something like that work Spark session. Okay, so my second point will be why was Spark session introduced. So before Spark 2.0, developer had to create very multiple contexts. The context like whatever you are doing, you have to create a context, you have to implement this, then you write a code and um, any kind of written jobs. So before Spark 2.0, developers had to create very multiple contexts. The context is the Spark context, SQL context, and Hive context. So managing all these contexts was difficult because developers are creating multiple contexts and some and the energy will be drained type of. So yeah, so what Spark does, Spark before sorry, so Spark introduced Spark session. So now we only need this. this type. Spark is equals to spark session dot builder dot get or create. Only this. Okay. So and Spark internally manage everything. So whenever you run this command and this code, Spark manage everything internally. So what happens internally? Let's talk about. So whenever you execute this code, Spark performs several behind the scenes. Sorry, Spark performs several steps behind the scene. Step first. Step first will be it create a Spark session. So this becomes our interface, like user interface in your website, something like that. It creates a interface to Spark. Second, second step will be create Spark context internally. So now you are thinking about what is Spark context. So yeah, the story starts now. Spark session automatically creates Spark context. Spark context is responsible for, so now what is Spark context? So Spark context is responsible for communicating with the cluster. And now you are thinking what is cluster? So cluster is the component of um, Spark architecture. We will talk about later when I'll teach about the um, Spark architecture. Then the topic will come. Okay. So second step is, sorry, third step is when Spark context is responsible for communicating with the cluster. So the then cluster when Spark context is generated, it communicate with the cluster. So cluster connect. So cluster is type of a resource. Okay, which talk about Spark context. And to connect cluster manager, Spark context talks to Yarn, Kubernetes, standalones, Mesos, these type of cluster manager, these type of resource where we connect, where we allocate our resources. So what is the main responsibility of Spark session is, okay, now we will talk about what's the main responsibility of Spark session is. It creates Spark context, it creates data frame. Yeah, without Spark session, you can't create data frame also. And also you can't execute your SQL query. And fourth thing is you can't connect with Hive also. And yeah, these are things you have to follow. So yeah, my topic will be end. Okay, and okay, bye. We will talk about tomorrow about any other topic. So stay tuned. Bye.